Hey, and welcome. Hey, and welcome, rebels. Today, I'm going to be talking about the trade war with China, and not just the trade war, but how it could be the death of a thousand cuts for Donald Trump politically. Right now, we're in the early days. We're in the early stages of this trade war. So nobody's really feeling the pinch now. Some companies are feeling the pinch. Some technology firms are feeling the pinch. They're having to relocate. A lot of different things are happening. But give it about 90 days, and if the trade war hasn't resolved by then, because right now there's so much propaganda out there, we're talking, we're not talking, we won't talk to you unless you do this, that nobody really knows what's going on. And there's so much disinformation and such a cloud of smoke around it that we won't actually see whether or not something's being done about it until about 90 days from now, when we start seeing those costs hit our pockets. People are already struggling already, and it's going to be even harder as these tariffs take effect, and the trickle down effect starts happening to American consumers. So Donald Trump could face a lot of political adversity and lose, because here's some things he told us: you're going to win so much that you're going to get so tired of winning that you're going to say, Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump, please, please, we can't stand winning anymore. Can you just slow down? And the story of the 2024 Trump presidency is going to be, yes, we're going to lose so big. You're going to ask me to stop losing because we're going to lose so big. You're going to say, Mr. Trump, we've lost so much. We can't lose anymore. And I think that that will end up being the story of the Trump presidency, as history marks it out. He just basically did a full court press against China. The rest of the world got hip to what it is that he was doing and was prepared for a Trump 2.0. So if this is something that you as an individual are sitting there thinking, oh yeah, things are going to be just like 2016. Nope. Nope. The rest of the world's already hip to it. And if they're already hip to it, that means they've already put in countermeasures. They've already had secret meetings and said, you know what, if America tries to do this again, we're done with them. And then not only to see the political hackery that we saw during the Biden administration, and we also saw it during the Obama administration, and now we're going to see it during the Trump administration with this Project 2025. And there's going to be, and then if you use AI as a way to be able to enforce Project 2025, people are going to get very, very upset very quick. And I think that as Trump does things, he's going to lose a lot of political capital. He should have lost the ability to get reelected just because of what happened with the cough and the pokey pokey and all that stuff. Because quite frankly, he wants to take credit for it, but the whole world is turned against it because his policy is what created that situation in the first place. And he thought people would love him, and he miscalculated. And he used to get booed at some of his rallies anytime he would talk about about the cough, and that's just the way it is. And Trump should have lost all of his political capital then, but people still had faith. They said, look at what he did. Now he's in, and now we get to see, oh, wait, if we would have put him in for another 4 years, it would have been, instead of a trail of good decisions, it would have been more trails of bad decisions, because those decisions that he was making then, he would have been trying to do a full-on full court press even back then to be able to push China. Because if he would have gotten into if he would have been able to win the election in 2020, and this is my opinion, he would have ratcheted up pressure on China. Not only would he have ratcheted up pressure, but it would have escalated the tensions that we're seeing right now much sooner, much earlier. And now we've had, that's just one thing. But then also look at the Biden administration. People don't have faith in the American dollar anymore. Okay, they don't have faith in the American dollar because they don't know if what kind of stability we have. They don't know that if we're going to have tariff at this price or this price or this price. And it's just like, Donald Trump sits on the toilet and starts tweeting on X, and, oh, well, I'm just going to change tariffs to this. So the whole world is stuck on the edge of their seat on Twitter, seeing what Donald Trump is going to do next. That's great for entertainment. That's great for building a reality TV show, but that does not work on international politics. Nobody wants the Jersey Shore to be our political representatives, and essentially that's what we got a businessman's Jersey Shore. And for those of you that know Jersey Shore, Okay, and I think that this, along with future decisions that are going to be made, because not only will businesses turn against him, because small businesses are going to be hurt the most because they're the ones that have to pay the most. The big businesses get to get volume discounts and price discounts based upon like how many items they're going to sell in their store. So those prices aren't going to affect them nearly as much as is a small business. And so this allows large corporations just to come eat up all the small businesses. And so this tariff war is the nail in the coffin for small businesses. And then on top of that, you've got the large businesses, especially the tech industry, which is what our major export is, other than the dollar and military, is that. And so we're even creating obstacles for that because we're trying to bring it home in a fit of nostalgia that ain't gonna work. Okay, it's not gonna work. Yeah, and so again, all of these things could end up leading to the political demise of Donald Trump. He is becoming his own worst enemy. It may have worked in 2016, but it's not working in 2024. And hey, guys, if you guys really would like to support the channel more and see uncensored content where I can actually talk about stuff without the fear of being censored by YouTube, come on over to Patreon. I'm doing morning live streams there where I get to speak openly and freely about the things that are going on without fear of censorship. But it requires that we be behind a paywall because that's just the way the world is right now. Okay, if you want your privacy and if you want to be able to hear truth, you're going to have to come over to Patreon and become a member. Thanks for being here, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.